We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff, coming at you with episode 393. Joining us this week is the OG Undisputed Scholar himself, the one and only Scholar Tark. Scholar Tark, how is your evening going, sir?
My evening is going great, and you forgot one little detail. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Oh, of course.
Hold on.
I'm holding on.
Hold on.
Timing.
Ah,
Yes,
There it is.
Yes, of course. The
Hi,
Scholars
Goldie.
of the Scholars of Wrestling World Champion, Scholar Tark. Scholar Tark, I guess your evening is going all right.
Oh, it's always going great, knowing I can just look at my shoulder right here, and just look at this beautiful woman resting on my shoulders. I love you, Goldie. Back on Daddy's shoulders, and it is amazing.
I'm away for 2 weeks and nothing has changed. Good to know. Also joining us this week is our coach. You know him, you love him. He is Scholar Jeremy. Scholar Jeremy, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good. A little bit of a tough week, but in the world of wrestling, everything is good. It's been a very good week in the world of wrestling. A lot of thumbs up, a lot of praise, a lot of screams of joy, and I'm surprised my neighbors didn't complain to us on Wednesday, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But I'm happy to be back on the show tonight.
Hey, I know how thick your walls are. It's all good, buddy.
Just the ceiling
Yes.
that's like,
Oh boy. I don't want to know anymore.
there's
Well,
hardwood
I
floors
do know
above
I
us.
know
So
more.
anyway.
What I do want to know more about is all the goings on this week in the world of professional wrestling. We're going to get to all of it, kicking things off with a little segment we like to call Backstage News.
Indeed, we shall go once again, peek behind that curtain, and just see. Well, there's no Hangman Adam Page to, show up after just being called out unplanned. No, he's still not here. And yeah, so we check in on a little backstage
news.
News.
I'll get that right eventually. Meh.
News.
Me too. I'll figure it out.
But yes, before we get to the latest and greatest, we also have a couple other things to bring up and discuss, more specifically on the WWE side of things, with the end of NXT UK, which is going to be bringing us NXT Europe starting in 2023. That and the recent promotion of one Shawn Michaels to, and I quote, the new VP of Talent Development Creative. I'll pitch it over to you guys. What the heck does this all mean? Were you expecting some of the releases we saw this week? And where is this going next?
I'll start. You can go on first, Jeremy.
It was interesting seeing the fold of NXT UK, which like a very established brand, and then just NXT Europe. Like I'm like sad, but I'm happy at the same time because I was like, I love NXT UK. You had Dragunov, you had Pretty Deadly, you had all these great different wrestlers and teams and different female superstars. You had Kylie Ray, who used to be there. You have Gia Brooke. Oh my God, there's so who is it? Will Ospreay's girlfriend's in there. Blair, I forget her name. Blair Davenport is there. And then just it's interesting because I was so hyped. Like I love the promotion, but it's just interesting seeing them like folded now to open another brand. So my question is, are they like unifying the titles, or the titles carrying over? What are they doing with those? Are they just gonna like fold them into NXT and then make it like what would it be? The NXT Europe champion or something? Just that's my next question on what's going on.
That is a very good question. Right now, given what we saw in NXT earlier in the week, excuse me.
I'm holding a call back too. You're good.
Oh yeah, there's some going around and we're all almost done fighting it off.
Yep.
But yeah, given what we saw on NXT this past week, it looks like there might just be some unification in the works in terms of bring in the remnants of NXT UK to NXT proper, at least for the time being. We saw this with the recent arrival of Blair Davenport.
Thank you. I did get the
making
name
appearance
right.
on the day. Oh, yes, you did. And at the end of their last NXT show, we saw the appearance of Braun Breaker getting seemingly shown up or challenged by NXT UK champion Tyler Bate, who apparently did not. His championship win was not yet aired. It has not
Yep.
showed up on TV yet. And granted, I have not been following NXT UK for some time, so I didn't even know Tyler Bate won. And apparently neither did everybody else. But from
If
what I
you,
saw, it looks like there might be some temporary folding over of talent, at least until NXT Europe gets going.
yeah, I was just gonna say real quick, the reason they gave it to Tyler Bate is because Dragunov has a ankle injury. So he came out with a boot and he had to relinquish the title, and they did a tournament for the belts. That's why Tyler Bate has it. But go ahead, Tark.
From what I've been looking into and trying to really figure out, it looks like they really are just done with the NXT UK brand as a promotion type deal, and that they're actually merging the titles together with just NXT. From what I come to understand with NXT Europe, it seems like it's just more of a continuing of basically not a spread of like performance centers, training, what's the word I'm looking for? Developmental stuff to actually bring talent from overseas into NXT, which will lead up to the main roster. From what it looks like, it's similar to what they're doing in the performance center, just bringing in recruits, training them, and when they're ready, they bring them over here, bring them as just new NXT call-ups, which will inevitably lead them to call-ups for the main roster. That's from what I've read and understand what's going on with this.
Oh, cool.
So
one thought I did have that came to mind, if you remember a while back, I want to say maybe within the last 5 years, it seemed like there was some desire, maybe it was from Triple H, maybe it was somebody else.
Yeah, I know what you're going for. Yes, this is basically Triple H getting back to what he's wanting to do, is just basically spread over like
international NXTs.
Yeah, exactly. With NXT Saudi Arabia, NXT Japan. He's basically going back. He's basically going back to like that frame of mind now that he's one of the big names on top.
I'm glad for that because Vince canned NXT Japan.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really not that
like,
surprising considering NXT UK wasn't exactly bringing in numbers that they were hoping for. It like just basically simply put, no one's watching, and it's just basically just the whole purpose was just basically to wipe out the UK independent scene, which it kind of inevitably did. But yeah, nothing. It's really, from what it looks like, it's just basically just more of a recruitment type deal, especially since Vince's idea of having just not necessarily wrestlers, just athletes come in to train. In reference to that one recruitment camp that happened last month.
Yes.
With him and Paul Heyman looking at just people, and apparently that was just a major disaster of just finding finding recruits. Yeah, this is just more of just what Triple H wanted to do years ago, with just spreading the NXT name to more just recruitment developmental deals.
So in that case, I do have a bit of a scholar's quick talk for you all. Excuse me. My question is, we all know what this looks to be going. The question I've got is, how far does it go? Does it remain at NXT UK? Does NXT Japan actually get formed? Or are they going to expand to any other territories? Are we going to see NXT India, for example? Are we going to see NXT Mexico? Are we going to see in any other places? What do you all think?
I guess it just really depends on if this actually succeeds. Because it's not just, it's the groundwork, but we need to see if this groundwork can actually, stand on its 2 feet and actually go in motion.
All right. So let me ask you this. If you're going to put another NXT territory, where would you like to see one established?
That's a good question.
Probably Canada.
NXT Canada, okay.
That's where I'd see, especially with such a huge fan base in Canada. I could see people who have been training to try and get recruited into.
Sorry, best friends just won. Sorry.
I
Stay on target, sir.
I turned
Sorry,
off Rampage to not get distracted.
That's the only thing. That's the only match I cared about. Sorry. Sorry. It's
No,
the only
I
match
don't
it's
have it
fine.
in
I
front
get
of
it.
me myself.
Now I know the results. So it's all good.
Sorry, but the other team has that big Brock Lesnar looking mother. So I'm like, all right, I think we got a problem. But no, okay.
Parker
Anyway,
Boudreaux.
sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, I couldn't pronounce his last name. I wasn't even gonna bother.
But yeah, I could see them going. I kind of would want to see them just go up north to do something NXT Montreal, NXT Quebec, whatever, NXT, and go down NXT Mexico, start bringing the WWE audience into lucha wrestling.
I was
At least
going to
for at least the
say,
casual
yeah.
audience.
I was
Like the
going to say,
casual
like,
audience,
they
yeah.
seem to keep wanting to get a Rey Mysterio equivalent, a next generation Rey Mysterio type figure to get the Mexico audience, or that kind of audience. So I was thinking that maybe NXT Mexico would be worth their while if they really want to cultivate a new talent and new Latino star. That, and the only other thought I did have was, honestly, I kind of want to see NXT India because of the high population they've got over there who love wrestling. There's got to be more untapped talent than just like the Great Khali and that one woman, Kavita Devi, or I think her name was.
I think her name is, yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be more raw talent that they can cultivate out of all that passion in India to make a big star for that region of the world. Like, there's got to be something.
I can agree with you, Jeff, because I feel like, how do I say this, watching wrestling as long as I have, the Indian wrestlers don't get a good rep in the WWE. Now with Triple H as like their as Triple H and Stephanie running, they can get more of like mainstream stardom. They can get the big pushes. They can like actually have not that stereotypical of their heritage. I know they're proud of it, but it's always the same thing. I want to see someone like come from there and then break out of that mold and really like just show like what they can do.
Well, yeah, because
Totally
most
agreed.
of the time, because
It's-
when
it's
Vince was
Okay,
in
sorry.
charge, it was just nothing more than just the foreigner.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
so,
Vince.
it's so
That's all
done.
Vince McMahon could ever go for when it's a non-American wrestler coming into his grasp in WWE, and just, all right, well, let's see, we got this guy, he's not American, let's make him a heel, let's make him hate America.
The one thing I never
Typical.
could stand was when Jinder Mahal is actually Canadian and they made him do the whole Indian stereotype. I'm like, come on, dude. Come on.
Mhm.
But if I was gonna say expand anywhere, I kind of want to see like NXT Asia personally, because I'm a huge fan of Japanese pro wrestling. Chinese pro wrestling is really up and coming. I want to see what they can do with that. So being a New Japan fan and a Pro Wrestling Noah fan, just seeing like how like well they do and how much I watch it. I want to see like what they can do with the Japanese, or sorry, excuse me, the Asian, the Asian superstars, and really bring them up. Like be the next Kota Ibushi, be the next Great Muta, the next Jushin Thunder Liger. Just let's bring the next generation in, because I love some high fly and just how much talent and what these guys have to go through to earn their slots in their native countries. Let's see what they can do in WWE or NXT.
You know what? That was originally one reason why I didn't really consider NXT Japan, because of all the presence that they have there already between New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, and the like, and not to mention all the Joshi promotions.
Yep.
One thing I was wondering is, because basically India is considered a part of Asia, what if you actually did do literally NXT Asia, where you could summarize all of that into discovering new Japanese talent, but not just stopping there. You can also get new Chinese talent. You can also get Indian talent, and all of the neighboring countries, unify them under NXT Asia and get not just the Japanese audience, not just the Indian audience, but the Chinese audience, and who knows what else.
Put our ideas together, Jeff. Let's do it. Patent pending.
I guess it's the only real
I'm sure the check's in the
concern-
mail, Triple H. You can start paying us now.
That's our sponsorship. All of a sudden, you get $1 million in the mail. What?
I
I'll
guess
take
just
it.
really the
Oh, yeah.
only real question that you can really have with this huge expansion is just the question that was asked when NXT UK was first established, of basically, in short words, killing the independent circuits of where they want to expand. Because you can ask anyone who is involved with the UK independent scene, and they could simply say NXT UK killed the independent scene, which is what some say is actually one of the main reasons why they went to the NXT UK, just essentially do what Vince did to the territories here in the United States, just under the NXT name other than just the WWE name. Now it's just the question is there worry that that's going to happen everywhere else when they expand?
I think that's going to depend largely on where they establish themselves and how much ground that's going to cover. Like, I'm wondering if this new NXT Europe, one thing that differentiates it is they're going to be pulling more talent from all across the continent. Excuse me. Which is why I'm thinking like something, if they do decide to try it, like something like NXT Asia would be a more effective thing, since it won't be pulling too much talent from one specific area. As much as I would love to see this kind of talent, I'm wondering if maybe someplace like NXT Mexico or NXT Canada would be a bit more ineffective, since it may actually end up having a more detrimental effect on those areas, since it's more specific. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either way, no matter what ends up happening with the future of NXT, and especially with Shawn Michaels now at the helm officially, there's certainly still a lot of upside coming from WWE these days.
It's going to be
However,
very interesting to see those characters that he helps develop, that he helps create.
especially
break down the characters,
especially with a lot more consistency. So hopefully there won't
Yep.
be too much loss in their transition to the main roster.
Well, no, there's not going to be. It's the one problem that NXT had when Vince was in charge is he never watched it. He never watched anything NXT. So when he got these call-ups, he just was like, okay, I don't know what their history is. I don't know what they did under the NXT name. All I know is I'm looking at these guys, and this is how I see them. I'm going to basically wipe out everything and just make my characters and how I want to present them.
Ugh.
And
Or do nothing with them.
or do absolutely nothing with them, or just make them lackeys to to established guys and nothing more.
Hey, Lord willing, that's the last we'll ever see of that little phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, not everything is all sunshine and rainbows in the world of professional wrestling, especially not in AEW land, if the reports are to be believed. Because we're watching Dynamite, and one of the first things we get is a CM Punk promo where he is apparently calling out or giving a receipt to Hangman Page. Next day, we find out that apparently there's a ton of backstage heat between CM Punk and Hangman Page and just a whole lot of drama on all sides. I just gotta ask, what the heck happened?
Simply put, CM Punk is basically being CM Punk again. But
that's
just
not what I wanted to hear. Oh man.
Oh, I was honestly, I was expecting it, but I still love CM Punk. I knew that it was just a matter of time before he basically reverted back to how he was in Ring of Honor, WWE, basically everywhere he went. But that's just how he is. I've accepted it. I'm not going online nagging about how, he's such a whiny baby on the internet, like most of these people are doing on the internet. I was expecting it. If he's going to be unhappy about something, he will let you know.
Yep.
That's just the kind of man CM Punk is. So I'm really not taking anyone's side on the whole situation that happened, from promos that Hangman Adam Page and him had that rubbed CM Punk the wrong way, which led to him going basically to what's the word that Alvarez called it?
Mhm.
Not took it upon himself, but
Went off script. I'm not
what
sure.
essentially went off script, even like with less script that AEW has with their stars. Well, yeah, he essentially went off script and just put Hangman Page in a position where he was in a no-win situation, because he wasn't a part of that. He was never a part of that segment. So he was never going to come out, and he wasn't going to try and come out when he basically wasn't allowed. From what was told, he didn't even know about it when it happened, although he was in the building. But yeah, it was basically such a point where it was a basically lose-lose situation for Adam Page. And now when you have the locker room basically split, Team Punk, Team Page, that's not really good. That's not a very good thing to do have right now. That's something that just needs to be taken care of. And as Tempest from Wrestle Talk put it, this could this could be worked to a point where it will be a shoot turned into a work that will get the money, similar to the MJF situation that happened months ago, where of the whole not showing up and then doing the promo his last appearance. Yeah, this is something that really needs to be taken care of. Everyone now needs to basically work out whatever bullshit that they're going through this right now, because it's just now it's gonna hurt the product if you're basically having the locker room in such a divided position. Someone who's siding with Punk, people who are siding with Page. That's got to be an unhealthy working environment, and it's got to be something that needs to be taken care of.
Oh, yes, definitely. So the question is, how much of this do you believe? Because there's been a lot of talk about, okay, is it a work? Is it a shoot?
Oh no,
What's the way forward?
it is definitely a shoot. Again, Punk took it upon himself to make sure Adam Page looked bad. It will hopefully, like I said earlier, it will hopefully things will be worked out so this can become a work that will benefit both parties to the point where we're gonna possibly get a Adam Page versus CM Punk rematch, title or not. That would just be another match I would like to see.
Yeah, and it's Punk being typical Punk. Like I've read a lot of stuff over the last 48 hours where like they're gonna be in Cleveland on Wednesday, if I remember correctly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the arena where Punk walked out all those years ago. People are saying he's gonna walk out of AEW on that. The other rumor is that this one I'm not quite sure, but I heard a rumor that he wasn't gonna show up on Dynamite on this past Wednesday. That was one of the other rumors, and I'm like, okay, that I hope that's wrong. It's Punk being typical Punk, but like I love him to death. I always will. It's just I hate when he gets like this. Like, and I'm gonna be the neutral guy. I'm not on both people's sides. I'm not like pro Punk, pro Hangman. I get the whole thing, but like I agree with what Tarek said that it's gonna split the locker room and it's gonna make things tougher. And
It
they need to
has.
fix this. But the other happy news I did hear was that MJF may be coming back soon, so we may have a little more turmoil coming in on this scenario. But with Punk, I remember I was just on Twitter yesterday and I'm like, oh, it was such a good Dynamite. This happened, that happened. And I'm just like, Punk gets back. I'm like, come on, Punk again? I'm like, dude, like my wife doesn't know about the side of Punk and she's going to finally find out. And boy, is she going to get a reality check on him. But I'm just like, oh man, just like, it sucks because when you go out of your way to make someone look bad, that's not professional. That's not good. And just what I find interesting about that whole promo is that he made Hangman look bad, but if you think about it, they kind of moved from like, okay, that was the big issue in the beginning of the promo, and now it's all about Moxley and Punk. That's what like that's how you transition it. He aired his grievances, he made him look bad. It sucks he did it, but now it's like, okay, the big focus is on Moxley and Punk. Once they do that, then to figure out what they're going to do with Hangman and Punk, if they can do anything. But
How do you guys feel with the fact that they announced that the title unification match is going to take place Wednesday instead of at All Out?
I'm very interested because I was like, okay, blah blah, and all of a sudden they pulled the trigger. I'm like, okay, it's either it was planned or because of what Punk did, some shit happened in the background. Someone just said, okay, we're gonna pull the trigger now, and then we have something
Oh yeah,
bigger planned for all.
from what I've read, that this decision to make it next week was very late. This wasn't the plan. This is something that happened. I don't know if it was later that night or the next day. All I know is it was definitely a late decision.
And
I'll
then
tell
after
you
that,
what though.
good.
No, I'm gonna tell you what. I think something's up. Something unusual. I'm not talking about okay, just get the match in the can while you can and basically kowtow to Punk. Because I'm thinking like how long does it take for them to get that graphic up and going? I just keep thinking about okay, what's the situation building up to All Out? I don't think that any of them would compromise that big of a payday. Not not with everyone's coming from where they are, from where they've been. Like there's too many rumors going around, too much too many question marks in the air. I don't think they would compromise totally the the unification match or a big money match like that for All Out. Plus, you've got these rumors going around that MJF may or may not be around soon, and all these other things, all this other hearsay that's going back and forth. Something to me just does not add up, which is why I am firmly in the this is going to be a worked shoot until the truth comes out much further on down the road. So this is too unusual. I've got to believe something's up, and I think we're all going to see it in a couple weeks' time.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Jeff, with my graphics design and like my major and everything, if you so it happened at 8. When did the graphic go up? We'd say near like what 9:30, you'd say roughly the graphic popped up.
Yeah, I'd say more towards the latter portion of the show, like maybe the last third.
Yeah, you can literally, if say someone's like, we need a graphic like now, you can probably get it done within an hour. Like literally, it's just you have the background template, you have the championship thing, you put the people in, you put the title in the background, and literally, if you see they actually put the not Photoshop, but they graphic the belts onto the two champions. So you can do it within an hour. If you're really good, make it look perfect. If you're trying to just get it on, boom. You can always, what they did was they showed it, but Lady probably they took it back. They're like, okay, we announced it, then we'll refine it and then we'll put it back out there. But just get a quick one up, boom, you can get it done in an hour. And they have a really good team. So it's all templates. That's all it is.
Yeah, could they
But
have done it?
there
Absolutely.
is something up. So
But yeah,
we're
is
not
it
getting
all
evocation on
possible?
Wednesday.
I don't think so either. This is just
No way.
why would else what even if they were afraid that Punk was not going to show up, like I just don't see that happening. The treatment
me
has
too.
not been that poor. Even if you got a difference with somebody, the treatment was not that poor to bring him to the same point that he left WWE to begin with. So I'm like, I don't believe it. It's
Yeah, I
not on
didn't.
the same level at all.
Yeah, when I read that, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a bull crap reason. So
But yeah, this is just there's something's not adding up. And while we're waiting to see what exactly that is, we thankfully did get a little bit of good news. We did get the return of one Mr. Kenny Omega.
oh, right there. Right there. Losing my wife and I losing our shit. We were like, I
Saw
told
you
her
guys
'cause
posting it all over, so I was like, oh, yep,
she
they're
oh my
happy.
god, with her being the biggest Kenny Omega fan, it was like I'm
Could have
like, okay,
recorded the
so
reaction.
oh my god, like we were sitting there and like I kept reading the rumors of who the Bucks are gonna pick, who the Bucks are gonna pick. The other choice was gonna be Kota Ibushi. That was the other
Mhm.
big internet
Definitely.
rumor. And then I'm just watching and I'm reading through everything and I'm like, we'll see. And literally I told her, I'm like, you want to watch Dynamite tonight? She goes, why? And I'm like, I think there's gonna be an Omega sighting. She goes, please, I've had a shitty week. I need this. And then it just I love it. The Bucks come out, Andrade and the faction and Gobernable comes out, and then the Bucks give Justin Roberts the paper, and Justin's face was just so surprised. He opens it and he just goes, and he just does the whole entrance. I'm just like, yes, and he looks
I love
good.
Justin Roberts.
He looks good. He's not 100%, but he looks good for what he can do. So
And I am convinced that's just part of the presentation, part of the work
yeah.
of the show.
I think so too. Yeah.
That's my
And
wife
Even
hey,
told me
so,
I'm
too.
all for
great
that.
to see it.
I'm all for like him using it as a storyline wise. It's just he's not at 100%. We basically see him getting better than just
Yep.
oh, he's back and he's all like he never left. I think that's just more. What's the word? I guess
Good.
best way
Good story.
real.
Good. Sorry.
I guess the best way to put it, real,
Hmm.
because being gone, especially with just everything he's had when he left, it works. It was actually a very good idea to have him have this arc in his character of just getting back to what he used to be.
Yep.
Especially
And my
if
wife
we're
actually.
talking. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, my wife gave me a little bit of fun fact trivia for AEW, which she found out through the fans. So with the two tunnels, if this is with Kenny only, if Kenny comes out of the left tunnel, he's heel. If he comes out of the right tunnel, he's face. He came out of the right tunnel this week, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. So, but that's something I didn't know. But go ahead, Jeff. That's what I wanted to say.
Hell,
No, it's
Danielson pointed that out a while back. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have someone replacing me. And the fans, who is it? Who is it? You think I'm gonna tell you guys? Look, I came out of the left side of the ramp. You think I'm gonna tell you guys that? It's
Well,
been
I'll tell you this.
essentially
I'm
breaking
sorry,
the
go ahead.
fourth wall of the
That's great.
Yeah, it's not like it was much of a secret, but hey, there you go. What I was going to suggest is that if he is still indeed, if there is any legitimacy to him still being not 100%, him in this trio's title tournament is just what the doctor ordered. So he can get back in the groove. He can rely on the Young Bucks to sort of carry him through this. So he doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting. Sort of the New Japan model, which I'm sure he's used to at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So it all just looks like it's all pointing in the same direction. And I, for
as
one,
long as it
all works.
as long as it will inevitably have him get rid of Don Callis, yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and he wasn't, it's interesting. He wasn't ring rusty. He looked like he never left, like you said. It looked like he had everything on point, on fire. It's just like, and normally when guys leave for a while, 10, 11 months, they come back and they miss steps, they're off. Like he looked like he didn't miss a beat. And I'm very impressed. And he took that what was it, the tope suicida, like on the guardrail. Oh my God, that was disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is even, it makes me even more certain that he's mostly okay. And he's just sort of playing it up on just sort of, he could go better, but he's just sort of pacing himself and doing it mostly as part of the storyline. Which,
Mhm.
hey,
Yep,
I'm all here for. We're still getting Kenny Omega.
I just love the ending. He's like, he could have gone for the tag, but he picked him up for the one winged angel, and that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted, and we got it.
That's
So,
what we all wanted when he came back. It was like,
and the
one week, please.
I'm more, looking forward to the Elite versus the United Empire. That's gonna be match of the year. That's probably gonna be my match of the year with how good Osprey and his team against Omega and the Bucks. That's gonna be match of the year contender right there because they've been building a Twitter feud for the last couple of months. Him and Osprey. Oh, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be, and I hate saying that term, but it's gonna be an off the hook match.
Yeah, it's still a very good time to be a wrestling fan. There's definitely a lot to enjoy, especially that Kenny Omega is back.
Damn straight.
And now, excuse me. Yeah. But now is the time where we're pitching it over to you, our fellow fans. What do you make of this whole situation with Punk in AEW? Now that Kenny Omega's back, what's going to happen next? And what's going to happen next with NXT? Let us know all across the internet, wherever you are. If you're joining us on YouTube, leave us a comment. If you're joining us anywhere you get your podcasts, hey, if there's a comment section, why not drop us a line? If you're on Facebook, hey, we're there too. Look us up. And if you want to join the conversation ourselves, you can check us out all across the internet, but especially on our Twitter machines. Fool, where can you reach the champ?
You can reach the champ at the Avatar.
And where can I reach you, Jay?
You can reach the coach at Hero Huey 316.
And you can reach me at I'm Robbie Rage. Check us out, our link tree. It's in the description for all the latest from us. Join the conversation. It's always a trip, but you know that already because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
welcome.
You're welcome.
See you all next week.